Greetings, beautiful friends. Happy Monday to you. Welcome to our weekly check-in. This is us checking in with our mindful motivation for mindset mastery. So if you've been with me on these Monday check-ins, you'll know that I like to just feel into what's happening with the moon phases. This whole idea around mindset mastery is really about encouraging us to really get in touch with our own inner truth. And of course, I wrap up the session by drawing a card out of my deck of cards called Liberate Your Inner Truth. I don't know about you, but as we evolve and develop and become more aware of how we tick, how we show up in this life, things shift and change. And there's patterns that maybe suited us in a specific arena or phase of our life or environment that we were in. And it's all about really getting into rhythm and balance. So talking about the moon, we're still being very influenced by the new moon. This is just 2 days ago that it happened. We had the new moon and in the sign of Libra, but we also had that ring of fire solar eclipse. And when there's a solar eclipse, it kind of opens a window of time, if you like. So we are now in a 2-week period, which will close with a lunar eclipse at the end of this month. And why I wanted to kind of just refer back to that new moon in Libra is it's all about balance. And so it's about really looking at your mindset of finding your uniqueness, your quirkiness, your individuality, your unique talents and gifts, if you like. And so it's about that. It starts within. You're the microcosm of the macrocosm. So it starts within. And of course, a new moon is very much about really supporting that whole inner reflection. Now, as this week progresses, at the end of the week, and I think it's on the 22nd, we have a first quarter moon in the sign of Aquarius. So it's continuing to help us really get in touch with our own quirkiness, our own uniqueness, but also then in response to the collective. So it's about that rhythm, that dance, that coming in touch with your essence, your truth, your inner guidance, your purpose. Why are you here in this life? Finding your why. If you've watched these before, you know that I don't like asking why, but I'm talking about the big why. Like what makes your heart sing? What lights you up? What is that component or that uniqueness that only you can bring to the collective? So you can see that there's this kind of movement between you being very much in touch with what's right for you, but also using your voice or using your gift or shining your light. And it's not, sometimes when we go into those kind of dialogues, it's not something that you necessarily get to, right? Meaning that it's I have to learn all these things, or I have to arrive at a specific place, because that uniqueness, that gift, you have it. It's not something that you bring in from the outside. So things of that nature. If I say anything on any of these sessions that kind of trigger you, or you need a wee bit more guidance or support, put it in the comments below or message me directly. My whole purpose, my big why, is to help people really get in touch with their inner guidance and trust it. This is something that comes up a lot in the conversations that I have with students and clients, is that there's this, hi Sheena from Florida, lovely to have you here, my dear. But this is a dialogue that I have a lot of times with people, is that they might get a wee bit in touch with an inner whisper or piece of inner guidance, but then they stuff it down, or they don't trust it, or they second guess it, or they get into overthinking. So if that happens, then you need to start looking at what you need to let go of. And there's a perfect segue to I'm going to pull a card from my letting go guidance system. I use 4 decks of cards with these sessions for us, just to get like a really grounded. I think 4 is a really good stable number. I said we're really looking at balance and the attending to our inner work in order to be the light, be the gift that you are in your quirky way. So all that being said, what can we focus on letting go this week in order to get a little bit more of that clarity or that awareness or your truth? And what's come up is jealousy. That's an interesting one, isn't it? So that's actually really cool too, because sometimes when we are called upon energetically to bring our awareness within, we can kind of get a wee bit impatient or starting to say, oh, how long do I have to look within, and start comparing ourselves to other people. And when we start doing that, jealousy can come in and say, oh, well, I'm not as good as that person, or oh, that person makes it all look so easy, or things of that nature. So if it starts coming up, you thinking that somebody is bigger, better, more gifted, that's something that needs to really be let go, because that's not going to allow you to find equilibrium, which is kind of what this piece is in the next 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks, like I said, this eclipse window, if you like, is really encouraging us to strip away any kind of limitations or playing small or things that maybe tend to look like a bit of an obstacle or a block in your way. So it's all putting that down. So letting go of jealousy. Now I'm pulling one of the tarot cards. I do 1 tarot card, then 3 of the Healing with the Angels cards, and then, like I say, we're going to wrap up with the Liberate Your Inner Truth card. So let's see what tarot card comes up. Well, I think this one came up for us recently. And here is 4. I was saying about 4 being balanced. It's the 4 of Wands. I really like that, actually, because the 4 of Wands, to me, wands are about like the inner wisdom, but your purpose, your calling. But with the 4 of Wands also is like bringing your attention home. There's like the symbology you can see there is that really focusing on that firm, solid foundation at home, which then will allow you to access and get clear on what are your gifts, what's your calling, what are you here to bring into being or to share with the collective, things of that nature. So it's about really just focusing on you first. That's a conversation that I often have too about self-care, that it is of utmost importance, regardless of what's going on around you, that your self-care is at the top of your priority list. Nowhere else but the very top. And so that means doing your inner work, doing some journaling or meditating or moving your body or calling a friend when you need some support or guidance. It's about making sure, and the piece that I like to think of is make sure that when you're giving, because we're all givers too, but it's to give from your saucer, not your cup. So you fill your cup and it's from the overflow of your full cup that then you get to be of service and show up for those that you are here to serve or support, things of that nature. So this is cool. As I was kind of riffing on those ideas, there's another card that came up recently too. This is very powerful, these cards that have come up for us, kind of underlining a lot of the pieces that I've just been sharing. The first one is spiritual growth. So as we get into that sense of equilibrium and balance, we can start to really feel into this whole idea that we are spiritual beings. Every one of us are spiritual beings having this physical experience. And yes, it can sometimes get discombobulated and stuck and sticky, but we're still spiritual beings. And so when we come into our own inner truth first, then we can actually start becoming more resilient and going more with the flow and having our prayers answered. That's all part of that whole inner wisdom, inner peace, and co-creating, asking for support, for guidance, and playing music. That's what I said. I think that card's come up for us a few times. But perhaps feel into that. What What does divine music feel like to you? Is it something that you need to listen to music to soothe you, to be like calm your nervous system, or to light you up, or to meditate to, or to do some kind of exercising? Music to me is such a beautiful way to help balance, coming back to that whole thing of balance and equilibrium. So what does that mean to you? And do you listen to that kind of thing? Do you listen and then get the guidance that can sometimes come? I know for myself, I like to meditate to music, and that helps me kind of detach from the chattering mind. But it's that kind of music that can help you do that. So, and like I said, if you need any more information or ideas in this regard, just let me know. But now we're going to wrap up this session, send you off into your week ahead by finding which one of the Liberate Your Inner Truth cards. Oh, this is perfect. This is actually very much in alignment with what I was saying about the finding your quirkiness. The card that's come up for us is I am sharing my gifts. So you see, isn't that perfectly aligned with this whole idea of getting clear on what is your quirky uniqueness and then sharing it? So it's that piece that I said about the inner work. And then Gina says she loves music, all kinds. Me too. And it's finding the right music for the mood sometimes, right? But this is what I was saying about we're being called upon even more as we all evolve to get really clear on our truth, on our gifts, and then giving it to the collective, or doing what it is that helps shine your light, or create the connection to realizing that we are all connected and that we are all playing a role. We are all a unique flavor or color or piece to this massive cosmic puzzle that we are all in. But let me read this out to you. Everyone has gifts, talents, skills, and abilities. Sharing my gift is a way to give to the world, not because I have to, but because it gives others an opportunity to learn, grow, and advance in ways they have yet to experience. That's beautifully aligned with everything that I've told on these cards. I wish you a beautiful week. Like I said, if you need some support or guidance, put it in the comments below or message me directly. I wish you a superb week ahead. Much love to you. I'll be back again with you next week.